Bam, we're live. Welcome. Let me get all the channels working. All right, bam, we're live on TikTok. We're live on YouTube. All right, folks, welcome. Day 4 of this AI challenge, the Remodelers Rulebook. Every day, show you something that you can put into your remodeling business to make it more, basically, so help you win, so you lose less, right? Who doesn't want to lose less? All right. Again, if you're at TikTok and you want to see more of the content, switch over to YouTube, and I share my screen over there. But otherwise, welcome. Appreciate y'all being here. All right, let's get started. So, soldier or general, you got to ask yourself, well, a lot of you got into the industry. You knew you could do your own thing. You wanted to do your own thing. You probably didn't say that I want to do it 100% on my own, right? You probably thought, I'll get some guys to work for me like I was working for my last boss. Can't be that hard, can it? And then you start finding out that one or two guys is no big deal. But 8, 15, 25 guys, whole new ball game. And then finding the good guys is even more challenging. I've shared with many of you, my first couple hires were just people right around the neighborhood where I lived. They were easy to hire. They didn't expect much. They didn't offer much. You know, they were available. They had heartbeats. That's about it. But they didn't have any drive, and they didn't have much discipline, right? I had to pretty much babysit them all the time, and that gets draining. So sure, it's nice to have a second set of hands on the job site, but what's really nice is to have a second mind on the job site, someone that can actually run it and run it well. You want people that show up clear-minded, right? Not hungover, not high. You want them coming in ready to win your battle with you, for you. So let's get into it. So on day 4, we have to go through a shift to get you from being the soldier, you're doing all the work, the whole battle, to bringing it and becoming a general and getting a bunch of soldiers working for you. So you're used to the reaction. You swing the hammer, you chase the fires. If you're the general, you learn to recruit, you train, and you equip, and then you direct. So you win through people, systems, and timing, not through you always doing and executing everything other than you execute a plan and you give your soldiers everything that they need to properly execute. So you think about this, there's the general's going to be up late and up early, ensuring that the battalion has what it needs to dominate. But you're not doing every task. You're planning it, organizing it. So read this aloud to yourself if you are struggling. Your job as an owner is to build warriors, arm them with the right weapons, and run the battle plan. If I'm still stuck in the truck or on the job site all day long, my company is going nowhere fast because I can only be at one job site at one time. However, if you build a team, an army of people, they can be at all your different job sites. So you got to build your battalion. And what are some of the roles you need? For many of you, you might be better off hiring a salesperson. Maybe sales just isn't your thing right now. You haven't gone to any significant trainings. You think that it's just your quality of work that sells itself. You would be well advised to maybe look at getting a salesperson. If you choose to really be on the tools a lot more of the time, then get a salesperson to go out and sell jobs for you. All right. I recommend you get a salesperson to work with you and you get off the job site more into the management side. But a salesperson or an estimator can be real good. Think of them like as your scout. They go out, they look for the work, they sell it. One problem I ran into when I first got started is there were some jobs that I should have sold, but at times I was like, man, if I sell that job and one of my guys gets sick and I have to do that job while we're trying to do this job, I can't do both jobs. And I would still hesitate to sell certain jobs where a true owner, you got to break through your own fear and say, no, I'm selling jobs. That's what I do. I bring in the work and my workers get it done. So I need to sell all the jobs. Many of you need to look at getting a project manager out in the field, someone that's going to help you schedule the job, the subs, maintain the quality, and help keep the client under control and calm and informed. Right? Some of you might like to go, the route that I like is what's called a lead carpenter system. You think of that like as a squad leader. So your lead carpenter is the number one guy on the site. So he works in the field, right? And he executes and manages everybody. He directs it all for you. So he's a working leader. Project manager tends to not swing a hammer, pick up a screwdriver. They tend to just go and float from job to job. I preferred the lead carpenter system for a while. So that's how I went. Some of you might just need some sort of a, helpers and coordinators. If you start doing more of the design build, you're going to need an in-house coordinator, right? They're like your comms people. So they do your POs. They help with selections, client updates, change orders. And think about this. Everything adapts as you grow your business. So in the beginning, one person's wearing multiple hats, right? Going back and forth. And then over time, you really get the person to specialize. All right. So at many design, when we got into our design build phase, we had one person that managed this part of the process. They helped the homeowners get all their selections because we weren't going to go install your kitchen until we had every item in our warehouse ready to go. And that's how we could stick to a 6-week schedule. All right. So there's a method to the madness. So here's a prompt that you could put in. You can have AI help you figure out who your team should be. You're going to put into the system, this is the size of my company right now. This is the revenue. These are the types of jobs that I sell. This is how I currently go about executing. I do this. I do that. These are my strengths. This is what I like to do. This is where I need help. These are I struggle with organization. I struggle with payroll. I struggle with getting bills paid on time and entering receipts, whatever it is. For me, I needed a payroll person, right? I hated doing the payroll. So as soon as I got a payroll person, then I liked having employees. I didn't mind paying them every 2 weeks. But when I didn't have a payroll person, I hated payroll because I had to figure all that out. I didn't like it. So you'll type into AI what it is you like to do, what it is you need to do, and you can ask it for direction. If I'm trying to grow my remodeling company from this volume to set a goal, that volume, what are the most likely steps that I should take? Give me some options. And it'll create a 1-page role for you. And you can ask it to also create the role cards, we call them. That's the job descriptions for the people that you're going to be hiring. And then you want to ask it for what are the top 5 outcomes that these new staff members should be accomplishing, things like that. So understand that, it's about weapons and battle plans. These are the systems that help you win jobs. You need a clear weapon for pricing. So you got to understand a good markup and margin, right? You have to have some guardrails in place because you don't want to. Some of you would be better off going fishing than selling that job that you're so desperate to take. You don't want to work for nothing. You'd be better off taking a week off, getting your game plan together and selling jobs for profit. Take some sales training and then come back and start selling the job well. Many of you, I would say the big thing we found was pre-construction planning makes a big deal. There's a way to get jobs done more efficiently. And this is what I talk about a lot. Sometimes you feel like you have to raise your price. Your price has to be so high because you're not efficient, right? It might take you 3 months to do a project that maybe my company can do it in 6 weeks. And you're like, nah, there's no way. Well, there is if you plan it. But it takes like a week behind the scenes. But that week behind the scenes can save you a month. And think about what it costs to put your guys out on the job site for a month compared to if you just took 1 week and planned it out. So anyway, you want to look into giving your guys some sort of a template that they can follow, daily job logs, photos. And we also have the Talent Wars kit. That's a way that you can go about attracting the help that you need. Let's see what else. Some of you guys, you'll need to look at your battle plan. It helps to take the best way to say it is every morning you should meet with your key team. You don't have to meet with the whole foundation, but if you have like 3 lead carpenters, you should be touching base with them every morning. Hey, what's going on? Where are you today? Tell me, give me a quick rundown. Okay. What are the challenges that you're trying to overcome? How do you see things working out? And then you also weekly should be meeting together to better understand what direction things are going, how our job's shaping up. Are we looking like we're on budget? Did I estimate it properly? Was it sold right? Are making sure they're on top of their change orders, things like that. And you can create what I call like a kind of a huddle war room prompt for AI. You can ask it to say, hey, I need to do a 10-minute huddle with my team and a 45-minute weekly war room. Like, what does that look like? How do I put that together? Who talks? What's my agenda, right? What metrics should I be looking at to review? This is how much revenue my company currently does. This is our profit margin currently. What are some things that we could look at changing? I know for us, I had to get real clear on looking at how much money was I allocating for certain phases: demo, framing, sheetrock, installation of cabinetry, flooring, mechanicals, plumbing, electric. And that's how we would break our estimates down in job cost, so that I could come back and when the receipts came in, I could say, okay, I'm good. I understand. Like maybe you're off on sheetrock, or maybe your plumber's more expensive or takes longer. I don't know. But you want to understand where you're getting things right and where you're getting them wrong. The other thing is it really just takes daily. This is what I found for me was daily discipline, and working with your new guys and helping them be successful. Don't belittle, talk down, criticize. Ask them, hey, how can I help you? What is it that you're struggling with? How can I help you be more successful? Because at the end of the day, your team wants to succeed. So don't be the impediment. Don't be the jerk beating them up. Don't be like some of your parents treated you. Be better. Be like, hey, man, what can I do to help you win? What's getting in your way? And then always be thinking like, what's one skill that will help everyone? What is one thing that you could be working on right now? What's one thing that your helper could be working on? What is one thing that your lead carpenter could be working on? And touch base with them. Say, hey, how's that going? Ask them, hey, what's one thing that you could focus on for the next month that would help make your job, make you more successful, happier, whatever. And then encourage them and check in on them. Touch base with your guys. Like, what are your non-negotiables? So things that we had that were non-negotiable: you show up on time. If you're not early, you're late. The job sites stay clean all the time. We don't work in chaos. We don't work in a mess. That's how accidents happen. We keep our clients up to date daily with just a little. We could leave. Sometimes we did a message book. We would keep it on site, and the carpenter could write a message to the homeowner. Say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, here's what happened today. You can do that with a text message. Okay. Some of you have an app that you're using to track, and you can leave the message there, but you should give just a little update to the client. Hey, today we worked on flooring. Tomorrow we have an inspection, just giving you a heads up, 11 o'clock. That's all, just simple things. So, and you can ask AI to help prompt you for that. Give me a foundation to help keep my clients updated. See, here's what I found. When I first got started, I dreaded calling clients back when there was a problem. I didn't want to call them till I had the problem solved. But often the problem would take more than 24 hours to solve, and the homeowner would get pissed that they didn't hear from me. I was taught by somebody else, the best thing to do as soon as somebody calls you, is you call them right back. Yes, Ms. Smith, thank you for informing us. Yes, we're aware of the problem. We don't have the final solution at the moment, but what I can tell you is these are things that we're looking at, and these are the things that we're aware of, and these are the steps that we are taking currently. And I will get back to you with an update to let you know how that's all transpired. Most people just want to know that you're aware of the situation and that you're doing something to address it. You don't have to have the answer. So if you find that to be the case for you, understand that you can let that fear go. I don't have to have the final answer. I just need to call Mrs. Smith back now and say, yes, I know that happened. Please forgive me. Sure, that is frustrating. I hear you. Yeah, the guy shouldn't have fallen through the attic and put a hole in the dining room. I get it. That was a mistake. We're going to fix that for you. And I don't know exactly how it's going to work out at the moment. We're coordinating that now. I'll have a plan for you like tomorrow. And then they feel better just by you having the conversation. So constant communication is a good thing. You can't generally over communicate with the homeowner. Some of them will over communicate with you, but they'll let you know if you're talking too much. Trust me. So make sure that you understand some numbers in your company. What is your backlog? What are your start dates? Understand your gross profit margin. What's your target? What part of the job are you currently complete to as a percentage? Understand change orders and callbacks. What kind of, if you have a high callback or high warranty claims, then talk to your guys about slowing down a little bit and making sure they do it properly. Think about this. A lot of times what I found, my carpenter was wanting to get the job done quickly to make me happy, but he would often go too quick and make mistakes. And I would have to say, Joe, I'd rather you take another day on that job and just make sure you get it right. Don't stress over it, man. Take your time, do everything that you need to do to ensure that you knocked it out 100% the first time. And we will all be better served if you do that. And that's how we were to eliminate warranties and callback claims to almost zero. And just stay in touch with your clients. So let's see. If you're trying to get out of the role where you're the self-employed guy, right? You started in this industry. You're like, hey, I want to run a business. And then you became self-employed and you're like, I can barely run 2 guys or 2 jobs. Understand that you can do it. It's just, we have to help you build the proper foundation and a plan so that you can take a little bit more on and add a new skill. And then slowly you'll build that team. And once you get the first team assembled, the second team's so much easier. You just have to figure out how to get the first team, the first project manager, the first couple carpenters, the first sales rep. Then we replicate and rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So anyway, I hope all this helps. That's going to be the end for today. If you need any help, you can always reach out to us directly. We do this every day. Let us know if there's something specific that you could use help with or guidance. If you have any questions about trying to implement any of these AI prompts, let me know. And hopefully you guys got something enjoyable out of this and it helps make a difference in your business. Look, I get it. It's a lot. And when you got to understand, for me, the hardest phase was around the $750,000 a year. That's like no man's land. You don't want to be there. It's easier to run a remodeling company with just like 2 guys or 10. Where it sucks is in the middle. That's the worst spot to be. So if you find yourself there right now, you have like 4 guys, and you're hitting like 650,000 and you're exhausted. I hear you. And that's the hardest spot to be. We got to just make sure you have a good, proper plan. You will get to $1 million. Once you get there, you can get a little breathing room and then you can go on if you wish. 2 million, 3 million, it gets so much easier. But the $750,000 area, that's the worst place to be for a remodeler because you're doing a lot of volume and money, but you don't have enough yet to hire all the people that you need. So you're still wearing like multiple hats and it's a grind and you don't want to be there for more than 6 months, maybe a year tops. Okay. You got to transition you as fast as possible. All right. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you all. And I hope you found something informative. You guys have a good one. I'm going to end the share. And those of you on TikTok, you can always type in, I think you can add Spark. I'm not sure if it lets me take comment. We're going to have a better option on TikTok tomorrow. This was one of the last trial days we had to do, apparently, the way TikTok works. So I appreciate you guys being here. Have an awesome night. Take care.